Hey book besties, welcome back to another video. I am here today with the largest book haul I have ever done and maybe will ever do. I was pulling all these books out to organize them for this video and I was shocked at how many books I've accumulated for this haul. And I know what you're gonna say. I had put myself on a book buying ban prior to this, but to be totally honest, the vast majority of these books were gifted to me. I have been so fortunate. I had one of my she's a client, but she's also someone so close to me. I just adore her, and she was getting rid of a ton of books. She's like, I'm gonna donate all these. Do you want any of them? And I was like, yes, please, girlfriend. So she sent me the biggest bag of books. It got delivered to my house, and I literally burst into tears because I was so grateful. Like, oh my goodness. Then I also have some gifted books from authors, which is like mind-blowing to me that authors are choosing me to send their books to me. Like, that is just so amazing. I'm so grateful. So I'm going to walk you through all the new books that have to go on my shelves. And I know we're in a bit of a boring background today, but hear me out because I just moved and I'm like super excited to put together my library. I have great plans for putting together my little reading room, my reading corner, but I wanted to get the haul filmed first so all these books could just go onto my shelves so I didn't have to put them on my shelves and then pull them or hold them and then reorganize my shelves. It's a whole thing. I'm not even going to explain it because it's just how my brain works. Life with anxiety. I was like trying to figure out the best plan of attack for this, but long story short, you're dealing with the boring background for now, but I promise a better bookish background is coming in the near future. All right, I feel really chatty and I could talk for days, but I have a lot of books to get through here. So I'm going to go through, I separated them genre by genre, and we're going to go through and talk through all the new books in this book haul. And again, thank you to everybody that has sent me books, to my friend, my client. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I absolutely adore you. I freaking love you so much. So thank you. And to all the authors, if you happen to be watching this, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. There is no better gift than a new book, in my opinion. All right, like I said, I could talk all day long, but we're gonna dive in. So I'm gonna start with romances because that's definitely the genre I have the most books in. I'm gonna try to go as quick as I can while giving some form of description around any of the books, but I don't wanna go too in depth because this video would literally be like 6 hours long and nobody wants that. I don't wanna edit that. You don't wanna watch that. We're just gonna keep it simple. So starting off with the Icebreaker series, I was sent Icebreaker and Wildfire. So Icebreaker has actually been on my TBR. This has been existing on my TBR for so long. This is a college hockey romance with a lot of spice from what I understand, and I am hoping to get to this in January. I feel like the winter vibes, I never really know what to read in January because it's like Christmas books are gone, but you're not really ready for like springy, summery books. It's just kind of that slump time of year where you're like, what do I read? It's not Valentine's Day yet. So I feel like this is a good winter romance. So it's on my TBR for January. And then Wildfire takes place, it's more summery, I have a feeling, because I think it takes place at like a summer camp. So the first book has Nate, who's a hockey player. And then this is one of Nate's teammates, I believe. But it's not necessarily wintry or hockey setting. It takes place at a summer camp. So this follows one of Nate's friends, Russ, I believe. Yeah, Aurora and Russ. And I'm excited to get into this one. I will probably read it more like spring, summertime, but definitely one that is going to be on my TBR if I like Icebreaker. I've heard mixed opinions, so I'm excited about those. Then I have 4 books here that just scream fall. So these are going on my TBR, but probably won't be read until the next fall season just because their time has passed, I feel like, for this year. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to get to them. So first up, I have Funny Feelings, and I really don't know a ton about this. I think it's just kind of a standalone rom-com. It says when falling in love is the punchline. So I think it's going to be kind of like a funny romantic comedy. Amy Leah is quoted on the back. She's the author of the Influencer series, and I adore that series. So she's quoted on the back, so that gives me good vibes. But look at the cover of this. It is just like fall, the ultimate fall book. So I feel like I will be saving this for fall 2024, but it will be going on my TBR, and I think the cover is really cute. Okay, I'm gonna be so honest. I don't know why I thought this was a fall book. I take that back. This doesn't look like a fall book. This can just go on my TBR. There's a series called like Evie Drake Starts Over. I think that's how you say it. And I've been curious about that. And this is the same author. So this is called Flying Solo, and it's a national bestseller. So I'm excited about that. I think it's another kind of rom-com. Recently canceled her wedding. She's about to turn 40. Lori Sasselin returns to her main hometown. So it looks like small town maybe, romantic comedy, strong woman, canceled wedding. I'm excited about this. I thought this was fall. I don't know why in my head this was a fall book, but I will just add this to my regular TBR. This one does scream fall, and that is You Again. This book had its moment this fall. I think partially because of the gorgeous cover, I'm not even gonna lie. I've heard mixed reviews on this one. I think it's a second chance romance. You again would probably imply second chance. Yeah, that would make sense. This cover is stunning. I love a good second chance romance. Allie Hazelwood is quoted on the front saying, "Fresh, witty, and utterly romantic," which that sounds great to me. I will definitely be planning to read this next fall. Oh my gosh, the font looks small. That's okay. I will definitely be planning to read this next fall. I'm super excited to dig into this one. Like I said, I've seen mixed reviews on this one, so I'm excited to formulate my own opinions. Then another fall one, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It would just simply be wrong to read this book not in October, so this is definitely being saved for October, but it just looks so cute. Literally, it looks like Gilmore Girls. Like, tell me that doesn't look like Stars Hollow in a book. I have to read it. The vibes are there. Then I have two more, I believe, standalone romances here, and that is In a New York Minute. So I think this is just takes place in Manhattan. So just from reading the blurb, this takes place in Manhattan. It sounds like an opposites attract, maybe Grumpy Sunshine. It says she's bright, talkative, and creative, and he's serious, shy, and all about numbers. So it sounds like maybe that opposite Grumpy Sunshine trope here. I'm super excited. The female main character sounds kind of chaotic and relatable and quirky and funny, and I love a female main character that is just kind of all over the place because, like, me too. I also love a New York setting, so I'm excited to read this one at some point when I need a good standalone romance. Sometimes the standalones just hit, you know, like you just need something quick, easy, no commitment. I love them. Then I have Fool Me Once, and I'm excited about this one because it sounds like a woman who's kind of like sworn off love. She says, "Lee's learned one big lesson, never trust men." Amen, sister. I'm kidding, kind of. But it sounds like someone from her past named Ben shows up 5 years later, and they are kind of forced to be back together, and a second chance romance, like I said, is something that I will always fall for. So this is another standalone romance that I'm excited to get to whenever I need kind of like a palette cleanser. You know what I mean? Those standalone romances when you're just wrapped up in a series or fantasy or heavy books, sometimes you just need an easy breezy romance, and I feel like this will be perfect for that. We got more. Then I was sent physical copies of two books I've actually already read. 7 Year Slip, which was one of my all-time favorite books of 2023. Ashley Poston is one of my new favorite authors that I discovered this past year. This book is phenomenal. I actually included this in a reading vlog. I think it was forcing myself to read my physical TBR, like only read books on my physical TBR. I think it was in that vlog where I talked a little bit about 7 Year Slip. This was a 5-star read for me, so super duper great. I love Ashley Poston. And then after reading that, I actually already read The Dead Romantics as well. This is another Ashley Poston book, and after the 7 Year Slip, I was like, I need to read all her stuff. So I picked up The Dead Romantics, read it. I didn't love it as much as The 7 Year Slip, but it was definitely a good one. I feel like this would be a good one to read kind of around Halloween time. I feel like you could definitely read it any time of year, but there is like ghosty spiritual elements that could kind of be like spooky Halloween vibes. I don't know. It was cute as well. I gave this one 4 stars. Like I said, I didn't love it as much as The Dead Romantics, but I did still really enjoy it. Then I have a Mia Sheridan book, and that is Stinger. So Mia Sheridan wrote Archer's Voice, which I read January of this past year, and it was one of my favorite romances at the time. I am really excited to read Stinger. I think it's like a forced proximity, opposites attract type of situation. So it's Grace and Carson, and it says like their worlds could not coexist ever, but they know their time is short. So I believe the tropes in this are like forced proximity and opposites attract. The big title on the back of this book says, "Sometimes you don't even realize anything is wrong until someone comes along and changes you and makes you want more." So I'm intrigued with how much I loved Archer's Voice. I trust Mia Sheridan. I also read Most of All You. I think it was called Most of All You. I'm so bad with book titles sometimes, like, whew. But I have enjoyed the Mia Sheridan books that I've read so far, so I'm excited to pick this up in the new year as well. Then I have Miss Fourth Wing author Rebecca Yarros in The Likely Event, and this was actually on my TBR way before Fourth Wing even came out. Like, I had Rebecca Yarros on my radar before Fourth Wing came out, and I think I might enjoy her romance, like those type of fiction stories, more than Fourth Wing, because I did a full Fourth Wing vlog, and if you watched it, you know I didn't love Fourth Wing. Super unpopular opinion, I know, but this book sounds right up my alley. It sounds super emotional. I've heard this is like some people's favorite emotional read, like it had people in tears, and I'm always looking for a good book that's gonna hit the feels. So I'm excited to pick this one up. I think it involves like a plane crash or a plane accident, like their plane's about to go down. There's something with the military. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for this book to be really good, really rich, and really emotional, and I'm excited for that. Then I got my hands on the Dreamland Billionaires series, and I have been wanting to read this forever. So this is a billionaire romance. I think it follows 3 brothers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have The Fine Print is book 1, Terms and Conditions is book 2, and then Final Offer is book 3. And I think they own like theme parks. I'm like picturing Disneyland. I don't know if that's anything right, but I have heard such great things about this series and about Lauren Asher, the author, in general. So I'm so excited to finally have my hands on these, and I cannot wait to read these. This is a series that is going to be towards the top of my series TBR for 2024, 100%. I haven't read a lot of billionaire romances, so I'm excited to see what I think. Then another 2 books that I've already read and absolutely adored, Part of Your World and Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is actually a series. This is book 1 and this is book 2. I really loved Part of Your World. It was a great read. I think I gave it 4 stars. Super good. Small town romance. The girl is quirky and hilarious. I love the guy in this book. I love the found family. Really great read. However, this is one of my favorite books of all time, and I highly recommend reading the first book first because there will be spoilers in the second book. If you want to like try to read them in reverse order, just don't do it because you'll get spoilers. But Yours Truly is a 6-star read for me. I adore this book. I love Jacob, the male main character in this book. He has anxiety, and it is the most pure, honest, authentic representation of anxiety that I have ever seen. I was literally in tears at multiple times in this book because I felt so seen by Jacob and the way his anxiety was written. Literally one of my favorite books of all time. This is what solidified Abby Jimenez as one of my favorite authors. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. Sitting on the floor? I think I'm too old to sit on the floor these days. Speaking of Lauren Asher, who wrote the Dreamland Billionaire series, I have her new release as well, and that is Love Redesigned. I wanted to pick this one up first, but I heard that if you're going to read Dreamland Billionaires, you should read that before Love Redesigned. I think they exist in the same world, and I believe there will be spoilers in Love Redesigned if you try to read them in reverse order. That's what I heard, and I think that's what I understand, but I am really excited to pick up Love Redesigned. This came out pretty recently, and I can't wait to get my hands on this and read through it. But like I said, I am planning to read Dreamland Billionaires first, so it might be a while before I get to it, but I cannot wait. I think this book is gorgeous. Like, look at that cover. I love the purple so much. This is a new series called Lakefront Billionaires. So we have Dreamland Billionaires, we have Dreamland Billionaires, and then we have the new series Lakefront Billionaires, and this is book 1 in that just came out. Then another 2 books I've actually already read by another one of my favorite authors that I discovered this past year, Catherine Center. So I read and I love The Bodyguard this past year. This is a fake dating, forced proximity, bodyguard trope romance, and I love it. I love Catherine Center's characters. Her female main characters are amazing. Unmatched, literally unmatched, the way she writes her female main characters. How to Walk Away is another one of my favorite books by her that I read this past year. It does not get the hype it deserves, and I don't own the physical copy of that one, but I adore that book as well. I also got The Bodyguard. Then I also got Hello Stranger by Catherine Center, which is probably my second favorite book by her. I would say How to Walk Away is number 1, and this is a really close second. This is about a woman who has face blindness, which basically means that she can't recognize faces, and the female main character in this book, her name is Sadie. I love her so much. She is a little bit delulu. She's a little bit out there. She is in her own world in the best way possible. She is so freaking funny. I adore everything about this book. Catherine Center does such a great job of intertwining like deeper, meaningful topics in a lighthearted romance way. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. I love this. And the author Jay Daniels actually sent me 3 of her books, which was absolutely insane and so generous. So I have The Tragedy of Felix and Jake, and this is an LGBTQ romance. I think that it is Grumpy Sunshine and kind of like a forbidden romance, like falling for someone you're not technically supposed to fall for. I love that kind of the forbidden love, so I'm excited to pick this up in the new year as well. And then another one by Jay Daniels is When I Fall, and this is actually part of a series of interconnected standalones, I believe. I read the back of this. Holy spicy, spicy, spicy smut. So it sounds like there's a guy that's kind of sworn off love, except for one night stands until he meets someone that is like, ooh, maybe I kind of want more with her. But the spice in this book is going to be next level. I literally flipped open to a random page and I read a couple lines and I was like, Oh my lord, my eyeballs. Smut lovers, this is for you. Then another one by J. Daniels is Down Too Deep. I think this is also part of a series of interconnected standalones, and I'm excited to pick this one up as well. I believe this is a single parent trope, and I think he falls for the nanny. Yes, so they're both single parents, and he falls for the nanny. She's taking care of his child, and he starts to fall for her. So I have a love-hate relationship with single parent. I've seen it done really well where I love it, and I've seen it done where the kids are just annoying. So I'm excited to see what I think of this, and I'm definitely going to pick this up in the new year as well. Oh yeah, the front says 2 single parents, 3 little kids, 1 summer they'll never forget. So maybe I'll read this around the summer. That sounds great. And Mia Sheridan is quoted on the front. Best of all worlds. Then I was sent this box from an author, which was like the coolest thing ever. Look at that. That is so cool. My favorite part of this PR delivery was this thing. Hold on. It's like a little door sign that you hang like at a hotel, and it says, "Shh, do not disturb. I'm having an affair with my fictional boyfriend." Literally me with Reich Meadows. Literally me when I think of Reich. Except I would never do that because I love Daisy. If you know, you know. Anyways, in this PR box, I got 3 books from this author, and that is Love, It's Complicated, Love, It's Messy, and Love, It's Wild. So these are by Janine Colette, and these covers are so pretty. I love the different pastel-y looking colors, the pink, purple, and the blue. The back of this one says, anyone who says love isn't complicated is a dirty liar. It's a divorced single mom who spent a night in jail after breaking into the hair salon her ex's mistress owns. Girl. Drama. I'm excited for that. This one says, second chance romance only works out in the movies. In real life, it's messy. It has a single mother trope. It looks like a firefighter romance. Oh, and second chance. He caused me to swear off love years ago. Now he says he wants to make amends. Ooh. We trust in those firefighters, ladies? I don't know. Then the back of this one says, falling in love has never been this wild. Okay, so this is small town and friend's grumpy brother-in-law. And a single dad in need of a nanny. So we have the single parent trope again. It sounds like maybe a nanny romance. I don't know. This is a series. I have to do more research if I need to read them in a specific order, but I'm super excited, and the presentation of this package was top tier. All right, that is all for the regular romance. I have a few Christmas romances that I'm gonna go super quick through. I'm not even gonna give a synopsis. I'm just gonna say the titles. So first I have the Christmas Orphans Club. I have the Holiday Trap. I have the Xmas Holidays, which is still on my holiday TBR at the time I'm filming this. I really wanna get to this one. I have a December to Remember. I have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, and I have A Merry Little Meet Cute, which I actually DNF'd last year, so maybe I'll give it another chance, but I don't know. I also got Love Light Farms, but I was actively reading that, and that's in the other room, and I'm not about to get up and get it, but Love Light Farms is also a book that is included in this haul. I'm just way too lazy to go pick it up. Sorry, I didn't plan ahead. Now we're jumping into kind of just general literary fiction books, and first up I have A Little Ray of Sunshine by Kristen Higgins. I have 2 other books by Kristen Higgins already on my physical TBR, and I'm really excited. I've heard her books are emotional. I think Pack Up the Moon is one I have by her that I've heard is super emotional that I already own on my TBR. I think this book is about mother-daughter relationships, which really touches me. Like, I'm super close with my mom, so those books really get to me. I am excited to jump into this one and see what it is about. I've heard great things about Kristen Higgins in general, so excited to explore this one in the new year. Then I have A Little Life. I think no words are needed for this one. I am terrified to read this book and also very excited. Not only am I terrified because it is like 805 pages, I am terrified because I've heard this is like the heaviest, most emotional, will absolutely tear you to pieces book. And so I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also very excited. Then I picked up Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. She is probably most popular for her book, Everything I Know About Love. I believe that's her memoir, and I watched that TV show too, which is really good. You should watch that. This is a rom-com, but I feel like it is more about a strong female lead, so I included it in kind of the general literary fiction genre rather than the romance genre. I'm super excited. I feel like this is going to be funny and just make me laugh, but also be really heartfelt at the same time. I don't know. I have high expectations for this one, and I'm not entirely sure why, but this is definitely a book I'm excited to read. And then another book that was sent to me by an author is Something's Wrong with Micah, and this is a disability rep book, and I'm so excited to read this one as well. So it's by Jameson Hill, and he sent me this book. So thank you, Jameson Hill. I'm excited to read your book and see what it is all about. It's YA as well. I think they're like 16 years old. All right, I only have one fantasy book in this haul, and that is Caraville by Stephanie Garber. I know you're supposed to read this series. It's a trilogy, I believe. Caraville, Legendary, and then I don't remember the last one. I know you're supposed to read this before the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, but I don't know if I'm gonna love this one. So like, Please comment below if I need to read this series before Once Upon a Broken Heart, or if I should skip Carvel and like donate this book. Like, what do you recommend? Because Once Upon a Broken Heart was at the top of my 2024 TBR. Like, I was excited to read that super duper soon. But this, I don't know. Maybe I need to read this first. Please comment below because I don't know what to do. I'm still a fantasy newbie. All right, guys, we're almost there. I have 3 nonfiction / poetry books. So first is Healing Rage by Ruth King. I've heard really great things about this, and it's about like anger. It's like a self-help book, I believe. It's about anger and how it manifests and working through it, and if we stifle anger, all the things. Nothing like super exciting in terms of plot because it's a self-help book, but this is a book that I picked up that I'm excited to read in the new year as well. Then I have 2 poetry books. I am a poetry girl, and the first is Harmony by Whitney Hansen, and I believe this is about grief. Yes, this is about grief and moving through the grieving process. I read Home by Whitney Hansen this last year, and I love her work. I think she is just a beautiful poet, and I'm excited to read this one as well. And my favorite poet and artist of all time, Young Pueblo. I have The Way Forward. This is the last book of his that I didn't own. I think I own all the other ones now. I love Young Pueblo with my whole heart. I am obsessed with him. I follow him on Instagram. I like literally everything he does. I just think he has such a way with words that is so touching and so beautiful. Love, love, love this book already. I've worked my way through part of it. I think I had a bookmark, and it's literally the sticker that I peeled off the cover, folded up, and used as a bookmark. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about me, that about sums it up. Very last genre, we have thriller / mystery, and starting off with one I've already read, and that is The Perfect Marriage. I read this on my Kindle and I didn't own the physical copy, and I don't feel like I was in the right headspace when I first read this book. I might actually reread this one because I think I read, maybe it was a right book, wrong time type of situation. I don't know, maybe I just didn't love the book, but I want to give this one another chance because I've heard really great things, but when I read it, I was a little bit underwhelmed. So maybe I just wasn't feeling the thrillers at that time. I don't really know, but this is a book that I do want to get to again, but I have already read, but now I have the physical copy, so maybe I'll revisit it. Then another one I've already read, Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I actually listened to this on audio, and I thought it was okay. Definitely not my favorite Alice Feeney book of all time, but I gave it, I think, 3.5 stars. It was good. It kept me engaged. It kept me guessing. It was like full of twists and turns. It was fast paced. Not my favorite thriller by her. Rock, Paper, Scissors is my favorite Alice Feeney book, but this was also a good one that I've already read / listened to. Then I purchased the last 3 books in a series that I had started, and that is the Natural series. So I own the Naturals, but I picked up Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. I just finished this series a couple days ago. Wow, this is one of my favorite series of all time, I think. Everyone needs to read this series, in my opinion. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a mastermind. I want to pick up the Inheritance Games now because this series just blew me away, and I need to read everything by Jennifer Lynn Barnes now. I'm obsessed with the characters in the series, specifically Sloane. If you know, you know. Sloane is my girl. I love her. This is such a good series. If you are into mysteries or thrillers, please pick this up. This is basically like a YA Criminal Minds type of book, and it is mind-blowing and so, so good. Then I also picked up the novella in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know why I keep buying Good Girl's Guide to Murder books when I haven't even read the first book yet, but I officially now own all 3 books in the trilogy and the novella, so I have to get to it at some point, but I picked this up because I was like, I already own all 3, so I might as well get the novella as well. So that series is definitely on my TBR. I need to just like bite the bullet. I've heard it's so, so good. I don't know why I've been procrastinating picking it up. I love thrillers. I love YA mysteries. I don't know what my holdup is. I need to just do it because now I own 4 books in the series and I haven't even touched them. Does anyone else do that where you buy all the books in a series before you even know if you're gonna like them and you're like, why did I just do that? Whatever. Then I have another book that was sent to me by the author, and that is The Curse in Their Veins. I think this is like a witchy book. I think it's about witchcraft, which doesn't typically sound like something I would read, but honestly, the back of this sounds really, really good. I think I'm gonna save this for next fall and try to pick this up around like Halloween time. I'm intrigued. Another one that the author was kind enough to send me, and that is Blood Sisters by Vanessa Lilly. I feel like this book sounds so dark, so twisted, so creepy in the best way possible. I have no words, honestly. I'm excited to read this one. I feel like it just is gonna leave me shook. Then another book sent to me by a thriller author is Mark Jenkins With One Stone. So he was kind enough to send me his book, which I am excited to read. It sounds really creepy and really good. And he was kind enough to send me a book off my own Amazon wish list. So he sent me The Maid. He said his book club read this and they all really loved it and he wanted me to read it too. It was literally the best surprise ever. It was so, so kind and so, so sweet. So thank you, Mark Jenkins, for sending me not only your book, but a book off of my own wish list as well. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, that is every book in this book haul. That was absolutely insane. I am looking at all these books like, holy cow. I've been putting off filming this for so long because I felt like it was gonna just take forever, but that really wasn't that bad. That was fun to go through all those books. So as we wrap up this video, I want to hear from you. What is the last book that you picked up to add to your physical TBR? Comment down below. But that's all I have for you today. I have some work I need to go get done, and also I'm gonna start piecing together my library room. So stay tuned for that new bookish background in our videos. Fingers crossed it turns out as great as I'm envisioning it turning out. I feel like it's gonna be really fun. I will probably take you along with me as I'm like building it and piecing it together too. I think that could be a fun video to take you along with. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, book besties. I kid you not, I finished that video, went outside to take my dog out after I cleaned everything up. A box of more books on my porch. I'm not even gonna include them. I was gonna like refilm the haul. We're not even gonna worry about it, but I just thought that was hilarious timing. But I have a book problem, okay? I have a book problem, I admit it. That is all. Goodbye, I love you. All right, y'all, it's the next day and I'm editing this video, and it's honestly just dumb for me to not share the last book package that came through. It's only 6 books, so I'm just gonna walk through them quickly because if I'm posting a haul, I might as well do it all. Ooh, Dr. Seuss over here. That was a rhyme. Okay, but we're gonna walk through these. First of all, I have a book that was sent to me by Penguin Random House actually, which was super duper cool. That is The Freedom Clause by Hannah Sloan. And this looks really spicy from the cover of it. I read the back and I believe it's about a couple that is having marriage troubles and they decide to pursue an open relationship to explore if that helps their marriage. And I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of spice in this book just based off the face of the woman on the cover of this book. I've heard literally nothing about this. I think it's a debut novel of Hannah Sloan, so I'm excited to read it and formulate my own opinions. I'm hit or miss with spice, to be totally honest, like super smutty books. Totally hit or miss, but I will keep you posted. Then I have another Mia Sheridan book, and that is More Than Words. So like I said earlier in this video, I have read Archer's Voice and Most of All You by Mia Sheridan. I have Stinger on my TBR, and I have Travis on my TBR. My dog just slammed my door and that scared me so bad. And I have Travis on my TBR, which is a sequel to Archer's Voice. It's about Archer's brother. If you read Archer's Voice, you know Travis. But I picked up More Than Words because I'm really hit or miss with Mia Sheridan. Archer's Voice is actually one of my favorite romances, which I learned by posting on TikTok that that's actually a very unpopular opinion. I got kind of attacked for liking Archer's Voice so much. Everyone's like, it's so cringe, but I really liked it personally, so I'm excited to see my thoughts on this one, so I will keep you posted. I don't know what I'm gonna think, but now I have it, so we'll give it a shot. And then I actually ordered the whole Inheritance Game series after reading The Naturals and falling in love with that series and Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing. So I ordered the whole series and I actually only got book 2. They canceled book 1 and 3 from my order, which was super disappointing, but I have Delilah. No. She's like nibbling on the corner of one of my books. Absolutely not. But I have book 2 in the Inheritance Game series. There's not much I can do with it until I get book 1, obviously, but I'm prepared. When I'm ready for it, if I fall in love with book 1, lucky for me, I'm ready to jump into book 2. Looking on the bright side, right? And then I have a book I actually already read, but the second book is either coming out or just came out, and I want to buy the second book. So if I'm gonna have the physical copy of the second one, I wanted to have the first one too. Book math, I don't know, book girly math, whatever you want to call it. But I got The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, and this is a very sensitive topic book, so check trigger warnings for sure. It's definitely a heavier book, a deeper book, but I'm excited to read the second one, and so I'm going to be picking that one up. But I wanted to have the first one as well so they can chill together on my bookshelf. Then my girl, my favorite author of 2023, Abby Jimenez, I picked up the Happy Ever After playlist. This is part of a series. I believe it's book 1 in the Friend Zone series, or maybe book 2. I don't know. There's the Happy Ever After playlist, the Friend Zone, and Life's Too Short in that series, and I accidentally read Life's Too Short, which I think is actually book 3. So I'm all out of whack anyways, but I picked up the Happy Ever After playlist because I fell in love with Abby Jimenez this past year. If you've been following me, you know that. So I'm really excited to give this one a shot. I love the pink cover. There's a dog on it, as always with Abby Jimenez. I'm excited. I just love her writing, and so I'm excited to see what this one's all about. I really don't even know the premise of it. And then I picked up a spicy, spicy, smutty book, and as someone who I just said is kind of hit or miss with smut, this was a risk, but I got The Nanny because I've been hearing so much about this book, specifically that it is literally just smut. I believe this is about a girl who has an OnlyFans account, and the dad of the child she's nannying is a subscriber to her OnlyFans. So it's like a nanny, spicy romance, and she is like in the adult entertainment industry. So definitely going to be a lot of smut in this book, I can assume, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So we will see if I like the smut in this book or if it's too much for me, too over the top. I don't know. It's really hit or miss for me, like I said, so I'll keep you posted. But there are the 6 books in this little mini follow-up book haul. I have to be so honest, I ordered True Colors by Kristen Hanna yesterday. I have more books on the way. Like, this haul could just be never ending, but I'm officially going to end it here because I just have a book buying problem and this video could go on forever. But I'm really excited about my new books. I am looking around my soon-to-be book room right now. All my books are just in bags and boxes from the moving process. And I'm so excited to piece together my shelves. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video coming up. But that is officially, truly, honestly all I have for today's haul. We're gonna end off here for real this time. I love you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, book besties.